So this video is not all over one day, it's over a few days. I've started off, we had, I think it was like 2 storms in one, with the rain, the lightning and thundering. Hopefully the sound's going to be okay on this video due to the fact that I'm doing a voiceover. And guess what? It's raining again, so hopefully that won't pick up as I'm putting a voiceover. So this video over the next, well, it's been a few days now, of bits and pieces, not everything I've actually shared. I have actually made a mistake and deleted a little bit of footage due to the fact that I waited so long. That's why I'd like to at least get videos edited, filmed, edited, if I need to put a voiceover or music. And then I tend to upload it privately, check it on a big screen, usually the TV. That's why sometimes there is a few comments or thumbs up early on as soon as it's actually uploaded, due to the fact some family members do actually watch the videos as I'm checking them, especially if they happen to be in it. As I said, obviously privacy and things like that. Sometimes I like to have a second opinion on footage, and sometimes, you know, I do second guess myself on make sure that, you know, speech is clear, and sometimes I get words wrong or pronounced wrong. I overthink things, but I do keep saying what you see is what you get, and that's just me. But this was quite a big storm, as you can see from the footage and the lightning. This was actually the next day. I did some towels, and I did our son's bedding, which is the Harry Potter set. I've washed it. It's getting old now, so I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to donate it, but I still like to wash it. And on his bed, I've actually put the Call of Duty, which is gaming, one of his favourite games. He's got quite a few of them. There is 2 different blankets here due to the fact, depending on what the weather is like. This is yet another day. This is decor. 2 boxes came down from the lot, 3 are going up, and yes, 1 larger box. I've labelled them up 2022 due to the fact that everything in these boxes were used, new, and I know that these are the boxes that are going to come out for autumn and Halloween next year. And hubby and our son, when he came home from work, kindly put the boxes up in the loft. I've said this a number of times, I do not like ladders. I've only actually been in the loft a couple of times in the whole time we've actually been here. So I washed everything out of the cloakroom. Unfortunately, this was the footage that I accidentally deleted, was cleaning the cloakroom, which was one of my jobs in the week. I also washed all the bath sheets, towels and flannels from the caravan, so they're all washed, aired and ready to go back to the caravan. Now I decided to actually change the bedding on this occasion for the main bed. Don't usually do both beds on the same day, not during the worst weather actually. When it's summertime or nice weather and I can get bedding quickly dried and everything, then that's what I do. Unfortunately, this is the next day. The night before, hubby came home and kindly helped me putting the bedding on. I did ask him whether to put ordinary bedding on or whether he wanted the fleece set on, because I didn't know if it was going to be too hot or not. And he decided, yes, we'll put it on. If it's too hot at the moment, then I'll change it back. We haven't got the big Chinese blanket, we don't need it. And this is just hubby's pyjamas, king of the duvet. I really wish I could get, I might still be able to find them, my own pyjamas with queen of the duvet. You know, sometimes it is occasionally a tug of war, mostly in the caravan because it is a smaller bed. So I'm just making the bed. As I say, this is the next day now. I have got my lounge set on, so sometimes I do like to get my jobs done before I actually get washed and dressed. Sometimes it's due to the fact whether I'm going out somewhere or whether I'm just lounging around, but I still tend to like to get dressed. I'm going to mention quite a few times through this video, possibly, or in the next few videos, that there is going to be blank spaces around our home due to the fact that I am decluttering ready for Christmas. I do this through the month of November as it gets closer to the end of November, beginning December, so I'm ready to put the Christmas decor away. When it's this time of year also, I tend to leave a lounge set at the bottom of our beds. This is hubby's. Thick socks that have the grippers on. Mine hasn't gone on the bed because I'm still wearing it, but now I'm changing the decor around. I'm just putting this grey Somebody Bunny Love Shoe canvas back up due to the fact it's sort of neutral, and I'm just putting the last of those autumn pieces away, bringing out a couple of winter things that probably will be left out going into Christmas and even January. As I'm going along, I'm sort of thinking what I need to put back on my list of things that need to be done at a later date, not necessarily at today. I find it helps, especially when I've seen a well-being officer, for my anxiety and everything, is to write things down. It unclouds the mind. This is now the Trick and Treat Halloween mat. I got it washed, dried and everything. I did actually have it airing for a couple of days because I don't like to put it through the tumble dryer. I roll it up to excuse the clumsiness. I am doing this one-handed, and I have got my next lot of washing on the landing ready to go downstairs, and then this gets rolled up, put in my airing cupboard, and this is that sort of stainless steel towel rail that I got really reasonable from the charity shop, and it rolls all my mats up at the side there. With my list, I do write down things as I think I'm going to try and remember, so I write everything down just to clear my mind. It's just the way that I do things like this. Like I was saying previously, when I'm doing a voiceover, sometimes I'm trying to keep up with the footage that I'd done, even if I'd done it a few days ago. But putting it down on a sheet of paper or a notebook, you can go back to it, and then you're not thinking, hang on a minute, what was that item I was trying to remember? I know. And you end up, get annoyed with yourself, or, just thinking, and then end up with a bad head. Like I said, I have got some empty spaces around our home ready for decor to move out. One of the jobs on my list was to hoover the lounge. Now, this is also to do with inspiration and motivation. I don't know about anybody else, but even if you don't feel like doing anything, if you just set a timer or say to yourself, I'm going to do it a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it happens to be, I decided I want to get the lounge hoovered. And very often I find that once I start hoovering, I end up hoovering the whole of the downstairs or all the upstairs, something like this. And this did happen on this occasion. I did actually continue hoovering all the way through the downstairs. So that was really good, even though I'd only sort of set my target to do the lounge. Sometimes I need to think of ways, dare I call it blackmail, possibly motivation, inspiration, all those words that you sort of, kick out there. And sometimes it might be something I want to watch on TV. It might be reading a chapter of my book, although I have to be careful that I don't get too bogged down in my book and lose track of time. YouTube is another one, Pinterest, anything like that. and also I can get lost also when I'm crafting. So a lot of these things I like to get aim for after I've done my daily chores, or as I keep repeating, basics. I'm sure everybody has a system in place. When I'm hoovering up, I hoover the brown mat. It does show all the bits up. Then I roll it up. I put it on the sofa. Then I hoover the rest of the lounge. Yes, I have got cushions that are coming out of the lounge. Sometimes I leave them till the end of November, but I'm going a little bit more neutral in the meantime and just bringing out greys, creams, blacks and white items. Probably keeping it to a minimum due to the fact, like I said, I don't want to trying to find places to store decor when my Christmas decor comes out. I have got a decor cupboard, but there is certain things that I have to be very careful that do not get broken. I do like to try and use a nail through this year, especially reuse items that I leave out all the time. One of my favourites is the lantern that you can see in the background. That owl, and I have some little fairy lights in there, tend to stay in there. Sometimes I do change it up, dare I say again, for Christmas. I got that lantern from Dunelm quite a fair few years ago, reduced from £20 down to 10, and as you can see, it is quite a big lantern. But again, even with my owl, I tend to put a little bit of decor in there for each season, so it's still reusing the same items. I've got a lot of black furniture, especially in the lounge, like I said, but more is the black and white ginning coming out. I've actually been given a couple of gifts that I'm looking forward to putting out this Christmas. I had them after last Christmas from a subscriber, so hopefully we'll be sharing that next month. Like I said, pumpkin patch and my other cushion, I am going to put those away. I'm bringing out a couple of these brown ones that sometimes I have on the sofa in the games room. Now, funny enough, when I put my other cushions out that got like the seasonal cushion covers, they tend to get thrown on the floor. When I have these nice textured cushions, like the grey and the brown, they tend to get used. When they don't have a print on them, they use them and they don't get thrown on the floor. So I guess that's one thing, isn't it? In the storage bin that I used to keep my bags in, I repurposed it. I've got 2 iPads in here. One's hubby's, mine, and our son's, and then my laptop there. I also keep my earphones in there and my bags down the side. I'm going to bring this up. This is actually a torch. It works in a couple of different ways. It's actually from a caravan, so it will be going backwards and forwards. Might be a strange thing to include this, but there has been warnings about possible power cuts this winter. So I don't tend to have a lot of candles that you actually light. I have a lot of battery operated ones and things like that, but I just wanted to share this light. It was quite a few years old now. I believe it came from B&Q. I think it was something like $24.99, so it was quite expensive. They could be cheaper now, but it's a bright, it has 3 torches in one. Like I said, it's been raining again and it's a miserable day. It's very dull as well. I just remembered I've got to put our granddaughter's fairy garden away for the winter. I've already put the glass patio table away in hubby's shed for the winter as well. As I said, it's all these things that need to be done. So there's a few ways that I keep on top of everything and keep organised. My planner is one. I constantly use this. It's just one of those things that keeps me organised. Also a pad pen, or this tends to be kept somewhere near my desk or on my desk, so I scribble things down. Now, when everybody had gone to bed last night, I actually wrote some notes down, things that I wanted to get accomplished the next day, being today. And so I am working through my list. So some of them actually come into the basics anyway. I've had a bit of a slump, dare I say, like I might have briefly sort of touched on this video. This is real time, this is not a voiceover now, this is just finishing today's video. So the list I've got here is straighten at home, I have done that. Laundry, I have put quite a bit of laundry away that I didn't get put away yesterday. I've done that. I've also had my washing machine going this morning, so I can tick that off. Hoover lounge, I can tick that off, but I've also hoovered the whole of the downstairs, although I didn't actually share that. Upload making treat boxes, I have done that. I do apologise, that was supposed to have been uploaded last night. I didn't get it checked. I was so tired and drained. When I wrote my list out, I was hoping to you know, check it then, but it was getting quite late. It was gone 11 o'clock and I was so tired, so I didn't actually get it uploaded last night, so I do apologise for that. Declutter if possible around home, I have been doing that. I've been doing that all through this video anyway. Again, not all the footage has been shown, and I've done a lot of changing pieces out today already. Then the last thing I've got on my list here, as I said, these were the main points for today. Edit and get ready over a few days video. This is this video. So once I finish this little segment and I've edited it, put it all together, so I've done a voiceover for most of this video, so this hopefully will be straightforward. Then I'll make it public hopefully tomorrow once it's been checked. So I'm not going to cross that one off, but that's sort of the last one. This doesn't actually include things like cooking the evening meal. I've done a lot of other things as I do daily, like the packing up, making the beds, you know, do my 10-item pick up, you know, straightening the home up and things like that. So quite a few of these things like declutter could be also putting pieces away. A couple of things that I didn't mention when I was doing my voiceover was things like, you know, picking up cables. It's not pretty, I know. We do live in a tech society, dare I call it, especially in our household anyway. So I do have a you know, an extension lead that so I got a what do you call it, a circuit breaker type thing on it, I can't remember, for back surges. Do apologise, I'm quite drained again today, but I'm happy with what I got done. And that's where we sort of charge up things like the phones, because obviously there's 3 mobile phones that get charged up overnight. There's things like my Kindle, hubby's electronic vaping, his batteries, things like that. So quite a few things tend to be charged overnight, especially if they're flat. We try not excessively charge things, only if they really need it. My Kindle doesn't get charged up every night. So yeah, and then there's things like the cables to the remotes and things like that, to the controllers, I should say, to the consoles. Our son's console for some reason has come down and stayed down for about a month, but it doesn't matter. But besides that, when I have my scribble pad here, I got things to do, not necessarily today, but things like I again touched on, you know, about not clouding your mind and, you know, releasing those things. Last thing you want to do is relax or go to bed at night thinking, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, oh, I must remember to do that. And that's why I like putting everything down on paper. So I've got a few things on my list. This is sort of from yesterday as well. Again, I was writing down. I don't know if you can see, my writing's quite scruffy, as I said. It's just writing things down. So I've got a a couple of bags in the games room. That's pieces I got for Christmas and I've hauled, so I've got those to put away. That means that they go on my gift list and things like that. Think of a way to cover tree box still to go in loft. The boxes have gone up in the loft. The only thing that hasn't got up is that 6-foot tree, autumn tree. Now what I normally do is the vacuum packs that I used to have, some extra large ones, when they don't vacuum anymore, I don't actually dump them. They usually have a cross on a permanent marker put on the bag, so I know that they're not vacuuming properly, and I use those to cover items up that go up in the loft. No good putting in black sacks because they can deteriorate, and I like to not just put the box in the loft because obviously we've had it where they've got damp previously and things like that, although the loft is insulated and things like that. So what I tend to do is use any big thick plastic bags and things like that. I haven't got any more at the moment because the last ones I used in the loft previously last Christmas, so I've got to think about how I'm going to cover that box up in plastic or something. Sometimes hubby can get some like plastic sheeting from work. Failing that, there's not so much nail, but I've even used tarpaulin that you can get in the like camping bit in Poundland and things like that. So I try not pay for that sort of thing because basically it's just to cover boxes that can't go in the resealable plastic boxes, if that makes sense. One of these that I've had on my list for a while is a hook for coat low. That means for our granddaughter. When our boys were young, little, we used to have hooks going at the banisters, sort of in the hall bit. So we had the high pegs for adults and then the low pegs for the kids. Obviously through the years they've gone, so I had actually thought sometimes it's waiting on one of the guys or hubby to get out a drill or something like that, because at the moment I'm not allowed unless I'm supervised. Yeah, adult supervision. I had thought you can get like an over the door hook, probably a single one, where I can hook it on that little bookcase that I have for my shoes, so it doesn't have to stay up permanently. I can hook it over the bookcase, if that makes sense. So she's got a hook to put a coat up. It might sound strange, but our boys were trained, does it sound awful, from a young age to put backpacks, shoes and coats away in their proper places, so you're not scrounging around for school and everything, right from when they started school and nursery, things like that. Mostly because it started, especially when my first son started nursery, they had the hook with the gnome, and they had the cubby hole, they had a place to put like lunchbox and things like that. So that sort of developed, and now I'm sort of wanting to put that in place for our granddaughter. I've known her once before when our son put his trainers in a slot in that bookcase, and my granddaughter's taken them out of the bookcase and put them on the floor and put her trainers in the slot, saying, "That is my slot, Uncle Dan. My shoes go here." But that's just because there was a couple of extra pairs of trainers at the time. So yeah, so I thought, instead of getting the drill out and drilling more hooks, because it's only probably going to be occasionally, why don't I get a single hook that can go over a door, but hopefully can just go over the edge of the bookcase there where the shoes are, and I can just have it there for when she comes. So that might be a straightforward thing, so I might look out for that item this weekend. Then I can actually tick that one off. And then I've got this is a biggie one actually. I might do this one over the weekend. I'm starting to make a plan. I'll tell you what the item is first. It's consider new organisation for under the stairs. Yeah, especially coming on to Christmas, I'm trying to think of ways to keep decluttered. Tend to get in a bit of a mess, especially when you're those extra things to store as well. But on the other hand, we will be packing the caravan up soon. We have got another weekend, a long weekend away. Then we're packing it up, vacuum packing all the extra bedding and everything, and the quilts and things like that, bringing everything else that needs to be washed. So a lot of stuff will be coming home, and that normally goes under the stairs. But I want to rethink this if I can, because I'd like to make not necessarily a little pantry shelf, but the shelving I want to alter in there. This might come a bit more obvious if I do it, and sort of share with you what I'm on about. So that'll be coming up in a video, hopefully shortly, sooner rather than later, if that makes sense. We store pop bottles under there, you know, like the Pepsi Max, things like that, extra toilet rolls, the kitchen rolls and things like that, especially the bigger pack things, cans of drinks that are in the fridge, the giant pasta bags you can get like from Tesco's and things like that, that not necessarily opened. But I haven't got a pantry. I've got a small cupboard in my kitchen again. That'll be a video coming up again, because I need to review what's in there, check the dates, do this 4 or 5 times a year, usually before Christmas, and I do it in the new year. It's 2 of the sort of closer times. I try and revolve my canned goods as well, to make sure, you know, nothing goes out of date and nothing's wasted. You know what I mean. I'm going a bit off topic, but I'm sort of breaking down the things that I'm thinking about at the moment, in a way, but they're written down here. I'm leaving this on my desk, or sometimes I put it aside here, but at the moment, when I'm not actually sort of doing any crafting or videoing in my cubby, except for today obviously, because it is about this, write this all down, and certain things go in my planner as well. So if you like this type of video where I've clumped quite a lot of different things together, let me know. As I say, I am trying to do, you know, more voiceover or whatever. The volume might sound a bit different because I have got an external mic on at the moment, due to the fact that obviously I am doing this in real time and not just a voiceover. So once again, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and if you like this sort of thing, obviously comment and let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.